Hi everyone, welcome back to Blossom Living with POI. My name is Anisha and welcome back to my channel. Now on today's video, I'm going to be answering 5 HRT questions. So what I've done is I have written down the questions. I'm going to read them out individually, then I'm going to provide the answers to those questions. And before we start this video, I just want to make sure that you're all doing okay and keeping safe out there. So let's get into those questions then. So the first question I have is, how long after starting HRT did you feel the difference? Now, in regards to my first HRT, which was the patch, it took a while for me to feel the benefits of the HRT. So I would say it took several weeks to 2 months for me to feel the benefits of HRT. And I knew this because some of the POI symptoms reduced for me. And with the Femistil 1/5 and the Femistil 2/10, which is my current HRT medication, I would say it took 2 weeks to a month for me to feel the benefits of the HRT. So obviously my body was much quicker to respond to the HRT the second time around. So I would assume because I was already on HRT the first time, so that's why my body was much quicker to respond the second time around. Now, for me, I have been on a high dose of HRT, low dose and high dose. So I was originally on the patch, which was a high dose, and then I was on the Femistone 1/5, and then I'm currently on the Femistil 2/10. So I would probably need to readjust my HRT again in the future. We just have to wait and see what happens then. So yes, definitely. The second question I have is, did you gain weight on HRT? Now, I believe I have spoken about this before on the previous video. I did not gain weight on HRT, especially with my first HRT, which was the patch. I noticed that I lost weight dramatically. However, over the years, I noticed that I was gaining weight in my mid section. And I used to think it was because I was eating too much, or because I had a poor eating habit, which I did when I was younger, but that has improved magnificently. So I definitely believe that HRT played a role and contributed to my stomach fat. And with good eating lifestyle and a regular exercise, I've been able to reduce the stomach down slowly but surely. So we're not there yet. Yeah, it definitely did for me. I definitely experienced weight gain in that way. The next question is, what happens if you forget to take your HRT? This has happened to me so many times. There have been times that I completely forget to take my HRT medication, or I forget my HRT bag. You guys have seen my bag. I forget my HRT bag at home, or sometimes I get so carried away with other things that I'm doing, and even though I do have an alarm set on my phone, I do completely forget. I'm only human. It happens to me sometimes. What I do is I take the mist tablet as soon as I remember. So for example, I take my HRT medication have to daily. So let's say I forget to take my HRT and have to then, and then I remember 3 to 5 hours later, I will take it straight away. And another example is, let's say I remember 8 hours later, I would not take my medication once it's more than 8 hours. On my HRT leaflet, it states if it's more than 12 hours, I shouldn't take the HRT medication. So, but for me, because I take it at 2:30 in the afternoon, once it's more than 8 hours, I wouldn't take the missed dose. I will take it the next day at 2:30. So I would only take one the following day. So I never take anything that is more than 8 hours. And I've also noticed that whenever I do miss my HRT, I do experience withdrawal bleeding, which is quite expected whenever you miss any dose of HRT. So that's what happens to me. So I do really try to make sure I take it. I have to daily, not to miss any medication, but it happens once in a while. So I would advise you to also read your leaflets that comes with the HRT then. So yeah. So the next question I have is, how long have you been on HRT? So I have been on HRT for 10 years, going to be 11 this year actually. And for me, I will have to remain on HRT until the actual age of menopause, which is 51, I believe. That's what I've been told. And for me, it's a continuous treatment. And I've actually asked this question, is when I do actually get to the actual age of menopause, which is 51, would I have to then stop the HRT treatment straight away, or what's going to happen? And it's been said to me that it depends on my health level at that age. So I'm guessing when I do get to 51, they will have to do some sort of physical exams just to see if you're, to determine if you're ready to stop HRT at that age then. So, but I always say that you don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 years. So we just have to wait and see. I could still be on HRT and I could not. So we just have to kind of wait and see what happens. But for now, it's a continuous treatment for me for now until the actual age of menopause. So yeah. So the last question is, how do you take your HRT? I currently take my HRT in the form of a tablet, but in the past, I was on the patch that you stick onto your skin. I take my HRT with a full glass of water or enough water, because I don't like when it gets stuck to my throat. Sometimes when you take a medicine and you can actually still feel it down your throat. It hasn't gone down yet. That can be very irritating. So I try to take a full glass of water, or just enough water to make sure it goes down. There have been times where I've been in a place where I cannot access water, and what I do is, especially when it's time to take the HRT, what I do is I use my saliva to swallow the medication. And I don't really mind doing that because the HRT does not have a taste to it, and also because it's very small, so I don't mind using my saliva to swallow it then. So when I do have access to water, then I just drink water down. It took a while for me to get into the idea of using my saliva, because I remember there was a time I actually used my saliva to swallow a different type of medication and it had taste. I was like, no. So because the HRT has no taste, I actually don't mind using my saliva just to swallow it down when there's no water around. And also I can take my Femistone with or without food. I don't necessarily have to eat for me to take my Femistone. It also has it on the leaflet that you don't have to eat to take your Femistone. So, but I do try to have food in my system before taking my HRT medication. So that concludes the end of this video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I have my own question to you. How long have you been on HRT, and how long are you going to remain on HRT for? You can leave your comment below, or you can DM me on Instagram. I definitely want to know. And also, if you guys have any video suggestions, definitely let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do what I can for all of you out there. And until my next video, take care of yourself, and bye.